Dear students, greetings to all. In this module, we'll be continuing with our ongoing chapter 5 of biology, morphology of flowering plants. This is the second lecture module related to the flowering plants. In the last module, we had discussed about what is a flower, what are the accessory whorls and the essential whorls. Now, the flower can also be classified on the basis of insertion of the floral leaves. So depending upon the position of calyx, corolla and androecium with respect to gynoecium or the ovary, the flowers are basically of three types. Firstly, the hypogynous. Second is the perigynous condition. And third is the epigynous condition. Now, when we talk about the hypogynous flowers, here the gynoecium occupies the highest position, or we can say that the ovary is superior. That means ovary is at a superior position or the highest position, and below it are situated the other whorls, as we can see in the diagram. The androecium, the petals and the sepals, they are below the ovary. This kind of an arrangement is observed in mustard, China rose and brinjal, where the ovary is superior. So here in the underlined diagram of hibiscus, when we take the section of it, we can see that the ovary, it is at a superior position and all the floral whorls are situated below it. Next is the perigynous condition, wherein the gynoecium is neither totally superior nor inferior. So here the gynoecium is in the center and it is half inferior. The ovary is half inferior. So it is located at the rim of the thalamus, almost at the same level. Like for example, plum, rose and peach. So here in the section of the rose, we can see that the gynoecium is situated in the center of the other floral parts. So it is half inferior. Example are plum, rose, peach. Epigynous condition. In this condition, the ovary, it is inferior. That means the margin of the thalamus, it grows upward, which encloses. So the margin has grown upward that encloses the ovary completely and gets fused with it. So the other floral whorls of the flower, they arise above the ovary, and therefore the ovary is inferior in this condition. Example, guava, cucumber, ray florets of sunflower, to name a few. Like here in the diagrammatic representation, it can be seen. So this is the ray floret of sunflower, wherein we can see that the margin of the thalamus, it is growing upward, and the location of the ovary, it has become inferior. The parts of the flower are basically calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, where calyx and corolla, they are referred to as the accessory whorls, and androecium and gynoecium, they are referred to as the reproductive whorls or the essential whorls. So here the stalk of the flower, that's referred to as the pedicel. The green colored structure comprising of the sepals. So the sepals form the calyx. The petals, they form the corolla, which is beautifully colored. The stamens form the androecium, and the gynoecium is referred to as the pistil or the carpel also. Now when we talk about the calyx, it is the outermost whorl of the flower. It is green in color. It protects the flower in the bud condition. The calyx, they could either be gamosepalous, that means the sepals are united, or they could be free, like polysepalous condition. So in certain cases where the flowers, they are basically funnel shaped, we see that the calyx is fused. In certain cases like rose, the calyx, it is free. talking about the corolla that's inner to the calyx, and it is brightly colored so as to attract pollinators, so as to facilitate the process of entomophily. The corolla, they may be fused, like over here. Example could be Petunia alba, Datura. When the petals are free, the condition is called as polypetalous, like in case of Hibiscus rosa sinensis, that is also referred to as the good health. So here when we talk about the corolla, so the corolla, the forms of polypetalous corolla could be cruciformed. Example in Cruciferaceae family. It could be caryophyllous, that means 5 petals. Example Dianthus. Rosaceous, that means claw is absent. Example rose. The form of gamopetalous corolla could be like bell-shaped, that is campanulate. It could be in fundibulum type, that's funnel-shaped. Example Petunia alba. It could be tubular, tube-shaped, like ray florets of sunflower. Now there's an important thing to it. There's a condition which is referred to as perianth. When the calyx and corolla, they cannot be differentiated, the structure in the flower is called as perianth. Example, onion, garlic and lily. So we can remember this condition, that is the perianth, as we can remember it by referring it to as SP. So this short form SP, that stands for the fusion between the sepals and the petals. So in this module, we had a detailed discussion on the classification of the flower on the basis of insertion of floral leaves. Hopefully, you must have garnered all the concepts thoroughly. Thank you for being a patient listener.